How did you come to the conclusion that Reverend Dr. Myung Moon is the Lord of the Second Advent?
On one level, it was very sudden, very quick. I was hearing a lecture given at the time that I was becoming part of that community. And after the lecture, the person sitting next to me came up with a question that surprised me. I don't know where it came from. He just casually raised his hand and asked, "Is Reverend Moon the Messiah?" And just as casually, the teacher said, "Oh, yes, he is." And I heard the question and I heard the answer, and spiritually, I was shattered, demolished. It was like I got a full-body tackle. You know,
it was shocking to you.
It was shocking, and I couldn't handle it. I couldn't digest it. And I consciously said, okay, I'm going to take that little factoid that I just heard, I'm going to put it up on a shelf, and I'm going to come back to it later, because I can't deal with that right now. I need more information. I need to build up my experience base. Over the next few months and year or so, I did gain more information. I studied his teachings, the divine principle, and I was having a lot of spiritual experiences, not to do with Reverend Moon, but just with what I was going through with my own life, with my own family. And I also encountered him personally. I ended up moving to New York, where he had his own local ministry. I heard him speak basically every Sunday morning. And putting all those things together, it gradually made sense that, yes, he is the Messiah, but at the same time, or the Lord of the Second Coming. But it also meant that my own understanding of what that means had changed or had evolved.
Well, please explain that to us.
Well, it has a lot to do with Jesus calling him to fulfill that role.
How was he called by Jesus?
Well, as I understand from that when he was 15 years old, he was a Christian and was praying. And Korean Christians are famous for their seriousness with which they take Christianity. And in prayer, Jesus came to him on a mountaintop on an Easter Sunday morning and asked him to take on a certain role, a messianic role, to inherit his mission. Now, I believe Jesus calls lots and lots of people to do lots and lots of things, and that Jesus has the authority to do that, and that Jesus decided this was a good candidate. I heard sort of as a apocryphal teaching in our movement many years ago that Jesus called 30 people, or Jesus called more than people than just Reverend Moon, but that Reverend Moon was the one who sort of accomplished it, which took a lot of effort on his part. It's not very easy. It's in fact probably anything you could imagine in life is easier than that. And to have people believe you, to believe it yourself, to enter into that depth of relationship with God where you could maintain that proclamation. And one thing Reverend Moon said that I read in the early days was how he knew really that Jesus was the Messiah was that Jesus said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. Either Jesus is insane or he's a total charlatan, deceiver, or he's telling the truth. And the evidence is, and this is from C.S. Lewis, but Reverend Moon said the same argument, we can see from his teachings he wasn't insane. We can see from the ethic that he spawned in those who followed him, he wasn't a charlatan. It means he was telling the truth. To say that no one comes to the Father but through me takes an incredible spiritual foundation. Or you'll just be laughed off the stage of history. Thousands of people, I'm the Messiah, I'm the Messiah. And they're just, people don't pay any attention to them, but to make it credible, 60 years, 65 years, to be proclaiming it on a larger and larger stage, Lots of people know that Reverend Moon claims to be the Messiah. Not so many people stand up and say, he's not. Most people say, well, I know he's saying that. And they stop there. They don't say yes or no. To accomplish that in one's lifetime, I mean, if I stood up and said, well, I think I'm the Messiah, you're going to say, Tyler, I don't think so. But to have people, including presidents, parliamentarians, religious leaders, hear Reverend Moon say, again, I am the Lord of the second coming, I'm the Savior, the Messiah, the King of Kings, the Prince of Peace, and they sit there, maybe it's true, maybe he is an incredible accomplishment.